is your Aries full moon outlook for October 6th, 2025. And on the 6th, we have the full moon in Aries at 14 degrees, with the sun, of course, in Libra at 14 degrees. So this is a full moon. And full moons are always about completion. So we are going to close the book on something that is very important to us. And in what area? Well, let's look at the signs. We have the sun in Libra. That's about the seventh house. It's about relationships. It's about the public eye. And it is about what? Legalities, legal concerns, the courts, and so on. Sometimes this includes contracts, anything legal. And it's about what else? Because Libra is the seventh house and Libra is connected with Venus. So it's about beauty, it's the arts. And this is also about refinement, harmony, balance. And the full moon in Aries, of course, is the opposite. It is about the first house, the me first. What pleases us? How do we put our best foot forward? Aries is the first house, so it's about appearances. And Aries is a leader. It is where we will find our leadership ability. And Aries is ruled by Mars. So this is what we want to go after. Mars is the action planet. And with Aries and Libra, we will have to find the balance. So where Aries and Libra are, that axis in your personal birth chart will be activated. But in general, our focus is now going to be the cross between that which gives us pleasure, that which is about appearances, and how we assert ourselves, our personality, our me first, and how we balance our personal desires with harmony and balance connected with relationships. So relationships and fulfilling what we want out of life and what we need, our personal desires, how we go after what we want, is going to be primary during this full moon. And this is what is going to become paramount. Now, because it is a full moon, and the full moon can be a little bit mystical, there may be some mysteries or a mystery, some information that we need to bring to a close. On one hand, it is something that we have to unlock that fulfills our needs and our desires. Also, without what? Because we've got that Libra access, without offending others, and finding that harmony between closing the door because we have changed. We have to bring something to a close to give us peace of mind, with also pleasing the other person or other people that are involved. And this is paramount. Now we have still yet Saturn and Neptune retrograde. And now Saturn is at 27 degrees retrograde Pisces, and Neptune is at 0 degrees also retrograde in Aries. So they're kind of making an out of sign conjunction, yet still a conjunction. But the emphasis will be on the individual signs they are with. Nonetheless, Saturn with Pisces retrograde and Aries Neptune in the sign of Aries. So, because Saturn and Neptune are retrograde, this can be a rather frustrating time. And again, where all these planets configure in your personal birth chart are primary. Overall, however, Saturn is about what? Saturn is about restriction. Sometimes Saturn can be about stumbling blocks. And it is in the sign of Pisces. So there can be something right now that may bring us a little melancholy, excuse the word there, melancholy, and or sadness. And Saturn is connected with the 12th house. And the 12th house is about the past. And it is that which is hidden. So we feel right now we need to have answers. And if we don't get these answers, we're talking Saturn, we may feel blocked or frustrated because we want answers now. And Neptune only adds to the confusion or deception here at 0 degrees, also retrograde in the sign of Aries. Now keep in mind, yes, Saturn is in Pisces, but they are making an out of sign conjunction. So we're trying to work our way through the confusion, the deception, finding out what we need to find out. But one very positive about Saturn is very focused. Saturn is the master. Saturn will get the job done, even retrograde. It might take us a little bit longer. There may be those Saturn delays. There may be the Neptune confusion. But on the other hand, with positivity here, Neptune is about our imagination. And it is about our hunches, our intuition. And Saturn, now in Pisces, depositor is Neptune. So we are heightened with our imaginations now, our fantasies, our creativity, our need to unlock the mysteries because of this past connection with the 12th house. And even if that means frustration and delays, we will unlock those answers right now. Yes, indeed. And we have Uranus still at 1 degree retrograde as well in Gemini. Now, Uranus is all about our inventiveness, it's our creativity, and yes, by the way, it is also the depositor of Pluto. Yes, also retrograde. So we've got some outer planets in the retrograde motion. So overall, right now, we want to move forward with power, Pluto. We want to move forward with whatever creative ideas or projects we have in mind. And because Uranus is in Gemini right now, we want to communicate that creativity, that brilliance, that inventiveness. And with Saturn Neptune equally retrograde, this is a time we're just going to have to be patient. But with Saturn retrograde, even in the sign, the intuitive sign of Pisces, we are guaranteed we will find the answers. But we have to go back to the past to move forward with what we unlock to be the truth. And that's extremely important. important. And we have Jupiter in Cancer yet. Cancer and Jupiter is all about our prosperity. And right now, with the fourth house connection with Cancer, we can find our prosperity, our wealth from home, from family, from creature comforts, from maybe making changes within our family, within our household, and also on a broader scale. Cancer connected with security is all about money, it is about investments, and these areas are going to be very prosperous right now. And that could be if you want to invest in real estate. This may be a very good time because of Jupiter in Cancer, very positive. And we have Mercury now at 0 critical degrees Scorpio. And it is with not yet conjunct uh, Mars, the action planet in Scorpio. Nonetheless, Scorpio here with Mercury early on, and Mars is the detective. So when you've got both Saturn and Neptune very inquisitive right now, and we've got Mars and Mercury in the sign of Scorpio, well, this can be equally explosive with Mars and Mercury there. And to some degree, we're going to have to kind of pull back a little bit on what we have to say, kind of think about what we say before we say it. But nonetheless, this is very aggressive. It's like Mars and Scorpio, the investigator. We get down to business. We are finding those answers. And no matter what, we're going to come up with those answers. Yes, indeed. Mars is very aggressive when it comes to looking underneath the surface. And because it is in Scorpio with Mercury and Mars, well, we may not like some of those answers because keep in mind, Mars and Mercury in Scorpio is connected with the eighth house. And the eighth house can be a little bit dark. And it is a little bit mysterious, kind of with the Saturn Neptune conjunction retrograde in Pisces, but somewhat occult. So there may be, whatever we find, some connections with the occult, or there may be some connections with that which is mysterious or unknown. But nonetheless, there will be revelations. You can be sure. Personally, in our own life, and publicly, with whatever investigations or whatever answers we are seeking. And of course, now Venus is still in Virgo, very critical position, but also very analytical, and it is with the South Node. So Virgo, somewhat like Scorpio, is an investigator. Virgo likes the facts, but without the intensity of the Scorpion. So Virgo there is rational, analytical, sensible. But this whole chart has a tone during this time of the Aries full moon until the next new moon of what? About finding answers or getting the answers. And once we get these answers, because of some of the connections with Scorpio, with Saturn, Neptune retrograde, even Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and Uranus in Gemini, we may not be too happy with some of the answers that we get. Nonetheless, We want to get down to business. However, Venus is also connected with love and affection, and it is the depositor of the sun in Libra right now. So, with Virgo as the depositor, that can be kind of critical. And so that says that love and relationships and harmony right now may be a little bit difficult or tough to achieve, because instead of really freely feeling like this is a very warm-hearted and affectionate time, we may be received with criticism or a certain defensiveness, because Virgo first analyzes, criticizes before Venus in Virgo open up and give their heart. Also, Venus in Virgo is connected with service. So, right now we may feel that love is about how much service or how much we do for others, or what, on the other hand, what we expect from others. So, this is a time we are really kind of looking at love and relationships through a critical eye. And this can kind of make relationships right now a little bit frosty. So if we can just get through this full moon with Venus and Virgo, well, we may come ahead stronger and wiser, but it is a teacher about what we expect from love and relationships. But nonetheless, it may be a little bit of a frosty time with relationships or trying to create balance and harmony, and this can upset that Libra sense of balance. So, right now, look to the positive here too with Venus and Virgo, and really put out for the doing, the service in love, and kind of put the lid on the criticism and the analytical nature in love, and just go with the flow, be of service, be kind, and be strong, and some of the good traits of Virgo. And love will be a little bit more warm-hearted, you could say now. And of course, because the full moon is an Aries, that's Mars. And again, that goes back to the depositor here of Mars and Scorpio with Mercury there. So that, with the full moon there, that absolutely guarantees that we are going to find an answer or the answers to something that has just made us tick for some time. We are getting down to the truth, the facts. So this is a very good quality. But nonetheless, well, Scorpio, to say the least, definitely will tell it like it is. However, that is with us right now. And Pluto, yes, the powerhouse in Aquarius at 1 degree. And it is making a, well, no, it is not making a grand trine. We've got Mercury in Scorpio, however. But nonetheless, even though Pluto is at only barely there, 1 degree retrograde Aquarius, well, the sun is in Libra, so that not in any capacity could be a trine or grand trine. Nonetheless, there is an emphasis here with Pluto, Uranus also barely there in Gemini, in the air sign emphasis with the sun in Libra. And as we move forward over the next week or so, 2 weeks, Venus will then move forward into Libra, and then there will be a grand trine in air. Nonetheless, right now, Pluto is kind of acting a little bit irresponsible with the power. And Those with the powers that be, well, they could also be acting a little bit unusual, a little off kilter, and Pluto is retrograde. So there's a lot of weirdness, you could say, or strangeness going on out there with the powers that be. And with those in positions of power, even around us, we may feel like, those that we're connected with or those that seem as if they are authorities or are power people could be acting a little bit irresponsibly. And the communication is not at its best either. So there may be some communication mix ups right now, not just with the powerhouse people, but we will have to watch our own sense of power, that we don't go over the line or we don't say things that are very off color right now, because that we may find could get us into a little bit of trouble. And it doesn't help with Mercury and Mars and Scorpio and the Saturn Neptune out of sign retrograde conjunction in Pisces Aries. So right now, travel could be a little bit frustrating. If you are traveling, take all kinds of precautions ahead of time. Plan very well. Anything that you have to deal with important communications, whether it's meetings or whether it's personal one-on-one communications, what have you, always be prepared right now because of these communication snafus at this time. However, with Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, there may be some invention or some positive, forward looking future development, Aquarius Pluto, that we may be able to utilize, or that we know that we may be able to utilize for the future, that will benefit us, even with Pluto in Aquarius retrograde and Uranus in Gemini retrograde. Yes, indeed. So, yes, we will have to be, well, a bit, well, cautious or careful right now in all communications. Do expect that we are going to get some explosive answers right now with this Aries full moon. We have to just put a lid on the criticism, especially in regards to relationships, even if we find some answers that will not sit with us. We have to go back to the past to move forward, and we will also find answers that will come to us from the past. And also, this could mean that there's some individuals that come back to our present or come to us in the present that are from the past as well. And it may seem a little bit mysterious because we got this aura of mystery right now. But at least, even with these retrograde planets going on right now, the outer planets, that will only make us more focused and more determined to figure out what's going on. We just have to do it with the strong Scorpio insight, the focus, the determination, and keep in mind the harmony with the Libra Sun. Aggressively go after what we want, and just be kind and understanding during this rather tense time. And the Aries full moon, well, will be better than average.